abụrụ m onye na-eme ụdị ya maka site na Amarachukwu na-eso m na ndị na-ekiri ekiri ọ mụ ka a na-akpọ ọdịnala bishọp. Yesterday na o nwere, I don't want to call it argument, enwere ihe anyị kọgide yesterday. Believer, somebody be a believer na Christ gafere n'akụkụ be m yesterday and we were talking. Ọ bụrụ argument, it's a mature discussion. O wee sị m na ya hapụgo church, o nwere ihe ọ bịara na-ekwu and m wee jebe document anyị onye ọbụla ma na aga m church ọfụma. Ịbịa na Enugu Ezike jụọ maka m, a ga-agwa gị na m jee church chọọ m ichi fada. Ejegide m charismatic, jegide charismatic ama na ọ na-eme. Ị na-eme anyị ebe a, ị afụchi ebe a m niile ka ọ dị. Ọ mgbe anyị ji mountain, mgbe anyị ji ụkwụ na-arị mountain. Mana today, anyị bụ ndị na champion for ọdịnala restoration site na Amarachukwu okike abịa mana enyemaka our ancestors. Mana after the person kọcha ihe niile ọkọ yesterday, wee jee ebe document anyị nọ wee for this Bible. Yeah, good news Bible. Wee sị ka mma maọbụ eziokwu. Because sometimes it's not about to carry Bible. But ịmakwu ihe dị n'ime 99% of ndị a niile na-egbuchi onwe ha because of religion don't even know what is inside. Gantị. Erue n'abalị ụnyaahụ wee jee go 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 21. Ọ sị gị, were you a slave when you were called? Don't let it trouble you. That means this Bible was talking to me. I did not see, for many years in our church, I did not see this. Iyo goshi bụ mụnwa bụ onye slave, maka ama m na ndị ọcha agara slave. Ọ mụnwa ka a na-agwa. So the Bible was talking to me as a slave, and I should not let my slave, the chain in my hand, to trouble me. Ama m na so many people na ngemeju unu because this is not my style. Man, I am beginning to attach emotions to what I do. So, Obunambe slave, I should not let it trouble me. So that I should go around, carry chain in my hand and in my leg, moving up and down. I should be proud that I am a slave. It is only a slave master. It is only a slave master. Biega gwa mmadu dokwa. Owebia na 1 Timothy, wesege. All who are under the yoke of slavery. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 1. All who are under the yoke of slavery should consider their slave masters worthy of full respect, so that God's name and our teaching may not be slandered. So, open I'm a slave. I should consider my slave master worthy, and I should respect them with the full respect, so that the name of God and the white man teaching will not be slandered. I want you to understand this. So many people don't care about technology or science or the progress of the people because of this book. They consider their slave masters worthy. They respect their slave master with all their life because of this book. And that is why you should travel from one country to another in Africa, and all of us are a mess. Now, I keep reading. Colossians chapter 3 from verse 22. Slave from verse 20. Colossians chapter 3 verse 22. Slave, obey your earthly masters in everything you do, and do it not only when their eyes is on you to curry their favor, but with the sincerity of heart and reverence for the Lord. Again in our fear. Pay attention in the video. So, Colossians chapter 3 verse 22 now, one that I should pay in everything, I should respect my slave masters. So, from the day one, some people, some race, I consider go more about the bishop. as a slave. I bet you so many of our black brothers and sisters that are carrying this book have never one day read this or trying to understand what is going on. 1 Peter chapter 2 from verse 18. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 18. Slave, in reverence of fear of God, submit yourself to your masters, not only to those who are good and considerate, but to those who are harsh. Ihe aka God ndị ọcha gwara unu. In Igbo cosmology, enwere ebe Chukwu okike abịa amasị ji David Ogofuma. Because I'm getting to the point my heart will be paining me. Onwere ebe Chukwu okike abịa ama sịrị unu jere mmadụ or unu mewe slavery. And somebody is telling me na mụnwa bụ bishop bụ slave. Ya bụ ihe na-ewe m iwe. Because a lot of our community has been messed up. A lot of our village has been messed up because of this book. Amarom na this book can on my house. Amarom na this book can on my house. And on Abawa Mobi, this is a painful experience that after my 21 years, 27 years, yes, 25 years. 25 years of going to block rosary, going to vigil, going to baptism, going to confirmation, being in Catholic church, being in charismatic, going to some Pentecostal, looking for the face of Jesus. I end up seeing myself being referred as a slave. So many people have died because of this book. I bet you this is the worst thing that ever happened to a black man. It's very, very painful that so many of us today is dying because of this. I was driving near one church, and I saw Ebakpro and Jamaica, where they molded and what they call it, and Jamaica. And right there, and Jamaica was matching his leg on a black man. And they call that black man Lucifer. It's very, very painful. I am that black man that and Jamaica is marching on his head. These are very painful, that so many of our brothers and sisters has been considered a slave. Use your time, make out time before you burn your own. Make out time and go and read. Go and read all this chapter that I mentioned on this book. You will have pity upon yourself. These people has messed our brain up. And imagine you and I passing this book to our children. This is the reason why we are not progressing. Because this book has positioned us to be useless. Even after reading this book, so many of us still have got to go and burn down our ancestral altar because of what you read in this book. This book is not for us. This book is not for us. I wanted to keep this book that I saw in my where I'm keeping my books and my documents. Where I'm keeping my documents. I wanted to keep this so-called book, so that all these people that have God to come and preach to me about Jesus or heaven or hellfire, they are so-called heaven or hellfire, I will bring it so that we will argue it very well. But I don't have time for this, because I don't want my children to grow and have access to this. Imagine me spending my 25 years in the church, only for me to wake up with the help of my ancestors. And today I am realizing that all this why this book is conditioning me to be a slave. That from day one, the writers of this book is a slave. I read it yesterday. I did not sleep. I made research, and I was researching about somebody called King James. King James. King James was a king in England. He was a homosexual. King James slept with his mother and with his younger brother. After making some research yesterday, I was very shocked. I was very, very shocked. And I begin to read begin to think towards the lifestyle of our ancestors. Egbe beru go bere. Onurube nwanna agbaloso. One day the number. Here I can do boji webindo. And I begin to be ashamed of myself for spending 25 years in the church, castigating and insulting my ancestors. Because somebody conditioned me in this book. Somebody conditioned me in this book for many years. You know, sometimes when you wake up to reality, even being an Akajofo, you wake up to see that some of the insults we gave to our ancestors, are they really going to forgive us? Because it's too much. These are very, very painful. Will our ancestors one day fully forgive us? And we will live peace with them ever again. These are very painful. That so many of our brothers and sisters are ready to give up their life. Proudly being a slave. Please, read this verse that I mentioned to you that I read yesterday. And you will be very shocked, and I know you will be very, very ashamed of you. Who are the slave masters? The white men. We should consider them worthy. We should consider them, we should respect them with the maximum respect for taking me for slavery, for killing my ancestors. And you are conditioning me and my children unborn, my children and my children unborn, with this book. Because you know a day like this will come when there will be a free information. Yesterday I read a book of Job, chapter 8 from verse 1 to 10. And he said something. He said, a time will come when you are going to be confused. Osege, when that time comes, go back to your ancestors. Seek for the ancient wisdom. I have just gotten that wisdom from my ancestors. That my ancestors are not evil. That my ancestors are not evil. He doesn't want it. Church Baru Mer Africa. Church Baru Merai is very, very painful. It's very, very painful. See where we are burning our shrine. So many people, I remember I'm buying on a charismatic. I was a prayer warrior in charismatic. I know how many deities we went and burned down, even not because of the help of my grandmother being an Ezewine there. May her soul rest in peace, and may she reconnect back. That whenever my grandmother noticed that stupid behavior from me, she would buy fowl and went to that deity to plead on my behalf. Because I happened to be only child and her first grandchild. So many people that followed us in burning our ancestral altar, so many of them today are barren. Some of them are mad, are running mad in the streets. Including one intelligent guy from my village. Ayin Chaninen on Akarism. Today he's mad. So many of them today are barren. Some of them today cannot feed their family. Some don't know when to move. They are confused in life. But we bring this Bible condition, right? I am here today speaking to you because I had a mother, a grandmother that understands, that knows that I am being foolish. I will not forgive anybody. How can you finish our ancestors and pass this book to us to continue being foolish? Enough is enough. I wanted to keep this book in my house, but I am done. Now me buy am. I am done. Imagine my daughter waking up one day to be reading this. That she should be proud of her slave masters. Imagine my son waking up one day to respect her slave masters. These are very painful. This is not the legacy that I want to pass to my children. I am done. If you come to church, we're 2 by 2 Piawamish. And I am sending it for all these people that are coming to invite me for wedding, to invite me to their church festival. You don't do. I normally come because I believe in humanity. But